Conservative Party leader Kemi Badenoch has recently stated her affinity for the right-wing governance of Javier Milei, president of Argentina, describing it as a model for her future government. Milei, a self-described anarcho-capitalist, has been in office since December 2023 and has pursued a relentless austerity program to enact a hard-right vision of capitalism upon Argentina. With a vociferous tone, heavy social media presence, and frequent comparisons to Donald Trump, Badenoch has clearly envisioned a route back to power through leaning on the notoriety of populist conservative figures, and one as a hard-right incumbent with a recent election win. A quick trip to the other side of the Atlantic should sober us all. Milei has launched a campaign of austerity, privatisation, and laissez-faire economics to devastating effect. Cuts to state services have lowered the quality of life in Argentina. Poverty is rising, education is being plundered, and healthcare institutions are struggling to provide critical services. Capital flows in one direction, upwards to wealthy Argentinians and even wealthier corporations, free to pick the resources of a gutted state. The rest must juggle their finances carefully as jobs are cut, critical institutions fall apart, and art, innovation and research is lost through a self-inflicted turbulence. Indeed, Argentina has become the plaything of a risible turbo-capitalist project. Unsurprisingly, the gutting of the Argentinian public sector has proven quite unpopular. Protests and strikes have featured prominently across Milei's tenure, be it over pensions, public transport or university funding. The administration has been met with fierce criticism over numerous sectors of Argentinian society. Particular criticism is aimed at the president himself, for issues including his chauvinism, pseudoscientific beliefs, disregard of human rights, frequent disdain for journalism, allegiance with international fascists, and an alleged orchestration of a cryptocurrency scam. Not quite the liberty free market capitalists like Milei promise, then. Once again, a right-wing shift causes chaos and pain for everyone involved. Talk of the freedom of the market is always accompanied with authoritarian actions, because the freedom being discussed is of the powerful, the capitalists, to impose themselves upon the world in whatever manner achieves the acquisition of capital. That this pursuit annuls the well-being of the planet and everyone on it is of no concern, be it through the barbarism of locking human essentials behind the market or creating a police state to stop the unhappy masses protesting such conditions. Their economic liberty is built through denying it to everyone else. It is a faux freedom in practice and in nature. Capitalism has always relied upon the suppression of workers via state mechanisms to maintain itself, and the turbo-capitalist hellscape unleashed upon Argentina is no different. Milei happily screams about the evils of the state, right as he deploys thousands of troopers to beat protesters off the streets and evict indigenous populations from their land. It should come as no surprise to them that Milei is an apologist for Argentina's military junta, replete with human rights abuse and political violence, and is eager to drag Argentina back to these dark times. Fascism is capitalism in decay, an expression of economics that dispenses with liberal notions of equality and justice in exchange for a more relentless pursuit of power, and right-wing political forces across the globe are increasingly comfortable, complicit even, in turning to the far right to achieve their goals, focusing state violence upon any obstacle to accruing wealth. This also explains why such free market fanatics so frequently advocate repressive, draconian positions on many social issues. At the core of right-wing thought, when distilled, is the belief in hierarchy, superiority, the inherent right to be better than others in society. This leads naturally to oppressive hierarchical structures, such as patriarchy, racism, cis-heteronormativity, ableism, and many more. The cultural capital those at the summit of these hierarchies receive bolsters their ability to maintain social power whilst cultivating, necessitating even, an underclass to wield power over. For right-wing movements like Milei's, this appears through many forms: attacking bodily autonomy by removing reproduction rights, denying the existence of LGBTQ people, stealing land from indigenous people, and more. Each bigotry, understood alongside market logics, advantages capitalists along some axis, and recenters social discourse from critique of capitalism's injustice to the lives of marginalised people. Capitalists, confronted with their economic system's growing unpopularity, the recessions, wars, poverty and environmental crises defining its existence, have realised this across the globe, which is why the right-wing parties they fund have abandoned much of the pretense and dived into the abyss of fascism. Badenoch, perhaps worried her party has been overshadowed by compatriots quicker to accept the treachery of fascism, now signals her intent to join the far-right circus through her advocacy of Milei. And with this, the ultra-nationalist, hyper-capitalist farce Argentina is becoming. This is the direction of capitalism, and their political lackeys must dance the tune, even as it means courting dictators, gutting human rights, and plunging the planet into ecological disaster. The lesson is clear. Dispense with right-wing politics before they dispense with us.